Welcome to this video. So today I'm here to show you how to build the resume for hiring season and for all your national service needs. All right. So we're creating this resume because hiring season is, I know right now we are in April, but hiring season is coming. For those of you who don't know what hiring season is, this is a time where companies abroad, think big companies, Apple, Microsoft, and even the small companies, they look for interns and they look for entry level candidates to fill roles for the next year or even for the same year, right? And so this is a great time if you're a student to look for opportunities and to get in and really land opportunities. You need the resume. You need a resume that is polished, that has all the elements, that is just, man, your resume just needs to be great. It needs to be the resume, and I'm here to help you to build it. Now, let me tell you, everyone has a way of writing their resume. Resumes are starting to be like noses. Everyone has one, and everyone has an opinion on how a resume should look. Oh, put the education section first, put the skills second, put the skill first. Everyone has your own opinions, all right? If you're working with a recruiter and they give you a template and the template looks a certain way, just do it their way, all right? But if not, this way that I have been writing resumes have gotten me jobs, it's gotten people jobs. And so just use it, tweak it as needed. Just use it. Just do your own thing, all right? But I'm just here to give you the main elements that just belongs on the resumes that you're creating. All right, because we all agree on certain things. We might not agree on everything, but we agree on certain things. Like your resume should be a single page if you're a student, and you should avoid unnecessary information like marital status and all of those other things. All right, so today we're going to be using flowcv.com, and I like using Flowcv. One of the reasons why I love using Flowcv is because, first of all, it's free. Number two, you can do a whole lot of customizations, and also my favorite part is if you need a resume review, it's easy to send a link to your resume to somebody, and you can enable feedback, get the link, and they can put in the comments. When you come down here in your Flowcv account, you can see all the comments and you can apply them or disregard them or whatever the situation is. All right, that's my favorite part. And you can do all the customization, so you can turn different parts on and off. It just makes it easier, because if you just have, like, I used to use Microsoft Word and all of these are different things, and it's just you have to keep fixing things. No fun. We don't like that. We like to dedicate our time to doing fun things. Anyways, too much blabbering. Let's move on. Today we're going to be building a resume for Jane Doe, who doesn't exist, but for the sake of this video, she exists. She is looking for software engineering roles. So before you write your resumes, really know what roles you're looking for, because one resume isn't going to do the job for every single role that you're looking for. You're going to need to tailor your resume for the opportunities that you're looking for. So the first step should be really to know the roles that you're looking for. Jane Doe is looking for software engineering roles, so we're going to start off. My keyboard is really loud, and my microphone is right there by my keyboard. So to avoid making too much noise, I am going to copy in things so that we can avoid the loud noise. But I don't have the full name listed anywhere, so we're going to type in Jane Doe's name, which is Jane Doe. Her email address is, I'm going to paste it here. I am going to skip the job title. Why is she skipping the job title? Because Jane Doe is a student. We don't need to put student here. We also don't need an image. And for a lot of you students, you're not going to need an image unless the job description specifically says put an image of yourself. But if they don't, I will just assume that I don't need an image. And you should assume the same. Okay. All right. So for Jane's phone number, I'm going to paste it in. All right. For those of you who are in Ghana, even if you're applying for opportunities in Ghana, I still recommend that you put your country code and put it like this. Put these dashes so that it's easy to read. Your last four digits, you have the last four digits, you have the first three. And then in Ghana, because you have the country code, we omit the first zero or whatever number comes first. Put it this way, especially when you're applying for opportunities outside, because it just makes it easy for them to contact you if they need to. If you don't put the country code, some people might not know the country code, even though it says, just make their life easier. You know, you're going to say your country and they can just go and look at it. But why are you making people's lives hard? Just do what I'm telling you to do. Okay. All right. Moving on. Your location, you're going to put your city and your country. If you're in Ghana, you probably can just get away with just putting your city, because if the company is in Ghana, they probably know where Accra is or where Kumasi is or where well, Sunyani is my favorite place, or where Brekum is, Brekum City. Okay. But anyways, but if you're not and you're, applying for opportunities outside of Ghana, it's always good to put your city and then the country that you are. Right here, you don't need to do anything. I've seen people put marital status, date of birth, all kinds of stuff. We omit that, right? The reason why we omit that is if the job description doesn't require it, why are we putting it? You really don't want to put your driver's license number or your passport ID or passport number or any of these things, really, that can be sensitive information. Why are you exposing yourself out there? All right, so we don't need it. We're not going to put it. If they don't tell us they want this, if the application doesn't specifically say or explicitly say that they want this information, then we're not going to put it, okay? And most of the time, it really is going to be on the application itself and not on your resume. They won't ask you to put it on your resume. They'll probably just ask you in the application itself. Here in the links section for technical students, a lot of you are going to have your own private websites. You're going to have a GitHub link. I recommend that you put those things here. If you're applying to a role, like let's say like you're a writer and you're applying for a writer role and you have these blogs or like you write on Medium, I also recommend putting your Medium link here. But for everyone, regardless of the links that you have, I recommend that you put you should. It's not even a recommendation at this point. You should put your LinkedIn link here because why? And you should have your LinkedIn link customized. The reason why you should have it customized, you don't want to put all those numbers, alphanumeric values, all of those, Have it customized so that it's just easy to look for you. They just see the link. Sometimes I just type in people's last, this part, this customized URL part, and just add it because I just know the link. I know how it goes. I just add this to it and it just makes it easier. And also a disclaimer, I'm not a recruiter. I'm just somebody who just cares and just wants you to land roles and showing you how to build resumes. All right, so that's all that we're going to do for the education section. Now, let me tell you something. Your resume is kind of like you get a new apartment. There's some essential things that you need. You really cannot, or you shouldn't have, you should not have a bed. Right? So you should have a bed is what I'm trying to say. You will have a bed in your apartment and you have a couch. Your bed and your couch is technically your education and your professional experience. So you should put your education first and you should put your professional experience second. Some recruiters will tell you to put your skills first. Listen, if you're applying to any job at a company, any role, and the recruiter from that company tells you put the skill first or put it last or put it in the middle or put it as the 20th item, do it. Don't listen to me. What they said trumps what I'm saying. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of how I've been doing it for years and doing it for other students, we're going to put our professional experience second. Regardless of what they tell you, your professional experience will be and should be on your resume. So let's say that Jane Doe interned at ABC Technology. That was the name of her employer, and she interned as a software engineer intern. All right, and she interned in Kansas. No, let's do Accra. Okay, and it is in Ghana. The country is in Ghana. She interned. I missed some stuff on the education section. We probably have to go back. This video is going to be chaotic. Get ready for it. She interned in January 2023, and she ended her internship March 2023. Okay, and for the sake of time, I already have prepared some bullet points here, and I'm going to paste all of them in here so that we don't have to wait for a long time. We don't have to be here typing and just this video is going to be long. Okay, I'm going to clean it up just a little bit here. I'm going to try avoid typing a lot. Okay, this is it. I am going to go back to the previous section, which I forgot something. I knew I forgot something. The first thing that we should do is to put Jane's education. By the way, I recorded this video several times. That's why I'm forgetting things. But Jane is a student at the University of Ghana, and we're going to put that here. And she is studying computer science. And we're going to put that here as well. Jane, and this university is in Accra. We're going to put the city and we're going to put the country. The start month for Jane is going to be August or January 2022, and I'm calculating in my head when that would mean that she graduates. She graduates September 2026, I think. Here, the end date for your resume should be, for your education or your degree should be here, right? Your education should be this first part, like I said, and then I ended up putting the professional experience. We will change this and you will see how easy it is to change it with Flowcv. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but Flowcv, reach out. At this point, reach out, okay? But anyways, so we put the end date, okay? If you haven't graduated yet, sometimes people say do present. I will put the end date if the job is saying, oh, they want students who are graduating in a certain year. So some job opportunities, internships, and even full-time entry-level opportunities, they say students should be graduating maybe 2027 or 2028. And so if your graduation date fall between, the timeline that they've given, is good to show your graduation date so that when the recruiter sees it, they know that you fit you fit the criteria that they're looking for. If you've already graduated, most definitely you should put your end date because you've already graduated. What are you gonna put here if not that? And one of the things that I recommend that students do is also put their relevant coursework. And the reason why I recommend that you do your relevant coursework is because recruiters, whenever they're scanning resumes, they're looking for certain skills and they're looking for certain buzzwords, right? And some of the buzzwords that they're looking for, it just so happened to be the name of the courses that we take in university. So if you're a computer science student, some of the buzzwords that they're looking for is like algorithms, data structure, software engineering, operating systems, what are some other things? Okay, data structures or databases and all of these things. Those are the names of the courses that we take in university. So it just so happened to work out perfectly. So what I recommend you to do is to list a few. Now do note something. I am not here listing English 1, English 2, Art 1, Art 2, and any of those things. Why? Because they won't help me to get the job that I'm looking for. If you're looking for a role, and they probably are looking for a somebody who is bilingual, or like multilingual, or whatever the word is, and so you took French or you took Spanish, it's good to showcase it. Whatever skills are required for your role, if you've taken the classes and you have the skill set or you have the knowledge and you can showcase it some way, somehow in your coursework, you should list it here. But if it's not relevant, if somebody's doing computer science and the job doesn't call for them to know French, but they've taken a French class, I definitely won't list it here. I will recommend not putting it. All of these classes are relevant to a job in software engineering, or data science or something. And so I would list it here because these are, so what I'm saying is you don't have to list all of your classes, and even the relevant courses, you definitely are going to have to pick and choose which one shows up and which doesn't, because we're playing a space game here, right? We're not going to have, just like an apartment, you're not going to have a space that fits everything in the world or everything that you want to fit. So definitely you're going to have to forego some things and keep some things, and that's exactly what is happening here. So for the sake of this video and for the sake of, showing you everything that Flowcv has to offer, I'm going to leave this as it is, but you're going to see we're going to flip the education section and bring it up and bring the professional experience down. But for the professional experience, we're really not done. So we're going to go back because Jane is an overachiever and she has other professional experiences that we should definitely be putting on her resume. So she did another internship and she did it at Mental World Incorporated, and she was a web developer intern, or you know what, let's call her front end developer intern. That's what she did. And she did this in New York, in USA, or you can just type the whole thing, United States. And make sure you type it correctly, okay? Proofread. She did this May 2023 to August 2023, all right? And these are the skills and the things that she did, and we will be talking about how to write your experiences or how you should put your experiences on your resume. So let me paste this real quick, and then let me fix this so that it looks nice. So we're going to bullet point everything. And whenever you're listing your experiences on your resume, there are three things that you're looking for. Four, really, but one of them can be omitted depending on the experience that you have, right? And I am assuming that a lot of students won't have the fourth item, but three things that every single experience that you list on your resume should have. You should aim to have all these three things. We're going to call them XYZ, and then the fourth item we're going to call A. Don't ask me why. Okay, so the first thing, and it doesn't have to be in the order that I'm listing it, but you should have, what did you do? What technologies or techniques did you use? Okay, and why did you do it? Okay, so let's look at some examples here. So Jane designed and deployed a RESTful API. That's what she did. What did she do? She designed and deployed a RESTful API. What are the technologies or the skills or the techniques she used? If you're in the business field or in any field that is different from technology, you probably might not be using technologies that are like, mind-blowing and big deal. You might be focusing a lot more on techniques and a lot more on some different things, maybe softwares and stuff that you're using that are really relevant in your industry. The reason why we're listing what we're using or the techniques we're using or the softwares or the things that we're using is because most of the time recruiters are looking for people who know how to do these things, or they know these technologies. They've worked with these technologies and they know how to use these techniques. They can do these things. Sometimes even in a job description, they will list these things, list these terms, technologies you insert, whatever you're looking for. So it's good to mention these things so that they know that we have experience using these tools. All right. So what did she do? She designed and deployed a RESTful API. What did she use to do it? Or what techniques or what technologies did she use? What softwares? She used Oracle SQL, and the method or what she did was stored procedures. And she also used Java. Okay. And what did it let her do? Okay, so it enabled her, or why did she do it? She did it to enable secure CRUD operations across a large-scale enterprise database and to streamline internal data workflows. That's why she did it, okay? So what did you do? What technology did you use, and why did you? Now, it doesn't have to be in the same, what did you do, what technology did you use, and why did you do it? It can be mixed. As long as you have those three ingredients, your soup or your resume soup is going to taste amazing, okay? But the last part is the results. And why I left the results out here is because a lot of the times when students go to intern, a lot of these companies have different departments. And so I could imagine if somebody was a product manager, they might not get, in the 3 months or 2 months or however many months they're there, they might not get to see the product go live. Okay, so you might not get the results. And sometimes, even if you get to see the product go live, really, there's a team that takes care of the metrics and everything. And unless you're going to go back and work, sometimes you just don't get the metrics. Okay, so students might not have access to the metrics. And I wanted this experience, this resume writing, to be very relatable. That is why I'm leaving off the metrics. Okay, we got it. So 3 things. What did you do? What did you use, or what technologies, techniques did you use, and why did you do it, or what problem did it solve? What did it do? Okay, so that is that. One other example I want to really show you here is this one. So she engineered a secure data and what? Hold on. She engineered secure payment and data handling features. That's what she did. What did she do? What did she use, right? She used validations and HTTP protocols. And what did it allow her to do? Or what problem did it allow her to solve? It enables safe student access to personalized career resources, okay? Now, I will do one thing here and I will say one thing here. Whenever you're writing your bullet points, it's good to put the bullet point that kind of describe the work that you did first. So in this case, in Jane's Mentor World Incorporated experience, I would put this third bullet point first. And actually, let's go ahead and do that, because I think that that kind of described the whole deal, like what she did during her internship. So I'll put that first, okay? Okay, so I will put that first, that it's moved to the first place, but we need to fix this. Okay, so that's good. All right, and that's what we're going to do. And the reason why is also not only because it's nice, but just put yourself in the recruiter's shoe. If they're reading the first bullet points and just kind of skimming through the rest, you want them to read something that tells them what the product is about, or like what you did, what we really did, and all of those things. So you want to kind of give them idea, you know, kind of like a hook, okay? But not really a hook, but maybe a hook. I don't know. Let's just move on, okay? All right, so we are done with the education section. We're done with the professional experience section. The next session that we're going to do is really, you need your skills, but there's another section that I think a lot of students will be able to put on their resume, and that is their projects. But we're not going to do projects today for the sake of time. We're going to do organizations, because a lot of students are really involved on campus, and campus involvement is important. That's not what we're here to talk about, so I'll probably skip it. But campus involvement is really, really important, and so we should, what am I saying? We should definitely put those things on our resume if we have them. So Jane is the co-founder of the Students for Mental Health Awareness Club at Legon, okay, at University of Ghana. And so she is the co-founder. She is an overachiever. She's the co-founder and the president. Okay. And here we're going to put University of Ghana. I would say one thing: if you are going to be using abbreviations in your resume, the first time that you write define the word the first time that you're using it, okay? Define the word. If it's not a standard industry term like HTML, you really don't need to describe it. CSS, really. HTTPS, I mean, yeah. We get it. SQL, we get it, okay? But like, say I'm going to keep referring to University of Ghana as UG, I would put it in parentheses here, or like I would put Legon or something, so that people know every time I say this term that is in the parentheses, this is what I'm referring to, okay? But I didn't do that for University of Ghana. I'm just going to leave it as what it is, okay? Whenever you are in a leadership position, and I know some of you don't do nothing with your leadership positions, but this is your sign to do something as a leader, okay? Serve the people that you're put in place to serve. Really, do your job, okay? But also, whenever you list it on your resume, tell us some of the things that you did. You can just leave this to one bullet point. You don't have to do 3, 4, 5, 10. One bullet point is enough for us to see the kind of impact you created among the students that you served. And it is a great way to showcase your leadership skills. It's a great way, like if it was something technical, it is also great to show how you work in a team setting, depending on the role that you had and all of. So it showcases a lot. You might not get to showcase some of these things, your leadership skills and such, in some of your internships and some of the jobs that you do. So the leadership roles that you hold on campus and the work that you do in these groups, putting them under the organization section, and really just like talking, giving one bullet point to kind of summarize the work that you've done, highlighting some of the big things that you've done as part of your role, is a very good way to show your leadership skills, okay? So that's one thing that Jane did. She was also she's an overachiever, I'm telling you. She is the organizing secretary for the Tech Innovation Hub Club, okay? So this is also at the University of Ghana. You all should be like Jane. Like, you know, she is the organizing. I cannot tell. And also learn how to type while you're at it. Don't be like me. Okay, So this is in Accra, Ghana. And we need to put months. We forgot to do that on the other one. I told you this was going to be very chaotic. So she started serving 2023 till now. Okay? Or let's just be fair. Like, let's do 2024. She can't be that much of an overachiever. Okay. And Jane did two things. I'm going to paste them here again in the interest of time. And this is why it's good to use Grammarly sometimes. But we're not going to change it. We said what we said. Maybe we didn't. Okay. Why Grammarly? Okay, so we're going to save it. And you can see in the beginning I said 1 page. We're already running over, and I want us to run over because I have a point to make. Okay? We're going to add one more thing. Jane is a member at Dream Hive Scholarships. She is a scholar. Do you guys see that? She is a scholar at Dream Hive Scholarship. And she has been a scholar since January 2022 till now. And she doesn't need to put anything since it's just a scholar. And these type of deals where you're just a member, you can leave it off, but it's also good to kind of show them, especially if you're like part of like NSB or like Rewriting the Code or NC WIT, those big organizations. Sometimes companies give them like personalized links for their members to use to apply for opportunities. So it might be good to like showcase those on your resume to show that you're part of these organizations. It might get you something. You never know. All right, the next section that we're going to work on is going to be our skills and interests section. Okay, so we're going to work on the skills section. And one thing I would say in a previous video that I made, I did mention, put in the proficient, intermediate. We're going to leave that out. Okay. We're going to leave that out. The first skill that we're going to actually group our skills. And I like doing skills this way if I have the space on my resume, because I feel like it helps recruiters to see the skill sets that I have easily. Okay. So this is from a previous template that I made for students in Ghana, students everywhere actually. So I still had this from the previous video, from the other video that we made. But we're going to take it off because I really don't think that it should be on here. So here we're going to list out all the programming languages that we know. We're going to list all of them here. And we're not going to put skill level because we are doing it like we're grouping the experiences. Okay? Now, because we're not doing the skill levels and all of these things, if you've been learning the language or the skill, whatever it is, for 2 weeks, you probably shouldn't have it on there because you probably don't even have a working knowledge of the tool or of the technology of the skill that you're listing. Okay? Make sure you're listing things that you can actually work with, things that you probably have like good working knowledge. Like if I tell you to do something, you can work like 50% with it, not something that you barely know and you're listing it. That's kind of like listing somebody as a reference when you just know them for a day or two. I don't think that's a good idea. Yes. Okay, so the next one that we're going to list is our web technologies. Like that. Okay, so Jane knows quite a few things. All right, so she knows some of these things. Let me see, make sure that I gathered everything that she knows. Yes, I think we gathered it. I think we did. And then the next thing that we're going to do is her database skills. And she knows these. Jane is a super girl. She knows these skills in database. Good. And the next thing that we're going to put is her APIs. And these are some of the ones that she knows. Oh, my bad. Did I not copy it? 1 second. We will see what. Now, sometimes I put my interest here, but I don't. It really depends. If you feel like putting it, go ahead, but you can leave it off. I had a recruiter who told me to put it on, and it's always been on my resume, but sometimes I take it off, like if I don't need it. Okay. All right, so we seem to have everything that we need. I'm probably going to just tweak this part. So it's going to be organizations and affiliations. Okay. All right. And click the check mark to make sure that it saves. This is the resume that we have. Clearly, it is not a page. So we're going to finesse it. All right. So we're going to go, after you put everything on here, you're going to go to the customize section right here. And the first thing that we're going to do, I wanted to show you. And the reason why I left the education part alone for it to be where it is because of this. Okay. So we're going to rearrange the sections. Okay, so you can see we can easily drag and drop without messing anything up. So easy, isn't it? So easy. That's why you should do it like that. Okay, actually, we forgot one thing. Let's go back and fix this portion. We forgot to put the dates that, Jane served. So that was for this one. She founded it, let's say, May 2024 to present. Let's see. Okay. And we will come back again. We definitely will. Let's customize this. We'll come back. I'll say a few things before we end this video. Okay. So we have already organized this the way that we like it. I really think that your skills should either be first or last. I prefer it being last. It just should be easy to find. I really don't think it should be anywhere here. I think it should just be easy to find. If they skim through, their eyes will probably go first at the top and then, last the bottom. But first to last. Some recruiters say first, some say last. I always left it last. I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't know. This is the last section I ever touch. So from here, what I do is change this so that my headings are easy to see. And what I also do is I uppercase it so that it's big and it's bold. The size of the heading really depends on the space that I'm working with. So I'm already over 2 pages. The most I'm going to do is like a medium, but because I'm over 2 pages, I'm going to leave it here. Okay. The icons, I like to do none for it because you don't need all of those things. For here, I like to do this one because like you can see, it shifted some things. Another one that I like to do is this, if I have the space, but between these two is nice. I don't like these because look, and then I don't like this because it splits the date and the locations and stuff like that, and I don't like that look. So I go for this or this one because it puts it at the same place. Okay. All right, let's do this one. Okay, I leave all of these things alone, all right? My subtitles, I leave them italicized, and then your subtitle placement, you can do next line if you have the space, okay? If you have the space. The description, I like to indent the body, okay? And then for this part, I like to leave it as is, if it's like this. So I like to put the name in the middle, so that it's looking nice. Over here, I don't like to do the icon. I rather do the bar so that it looks like this. And then for the details, I leave it as is. For the name, I think a medium is good. Extra large is just too big. Medium is good, or a large even. It really depends on whether or not you have the space, okay? Footer, we don't really need to do anything. For the date format, I like to do the short date. Where is it? Okay. They changed up some things. That's good. Okay. I like to do it like this. Okay. And then for my skills section, I think this is okay. Sometimes if you just have 3, it's good to just save space and do it this way, but this is fine too. And then the school and the degree, if you want your school to come first, which you should put the school first and then the degree second. And then you should also put employer first and then job title second. Okay. All right. And I think we got everything. So after I've made all those changes, I come here and I change some of the spacing. So I'm going to change the spacing, and then I'm going to start messing with the line height next to try to get everything to a page. Now, you can see it's still not working. We still need to keep finessing things. So we're just going to keep moving things around. We can change the font to 10 and you can see we get it to a page. So we do everything that we can to move things to a page. I don't like to go below 10. If I can get things here to 10 and not have to go below it, I'm fine with that. I can compromise on the margins and the space between entries. But as far as like the font, you don't want the font so small that people have to use one of those things. I forgot the name. We're not going to talk about that. But yeah, you don't want people to need those type of things to be looking through stuff, microscopes to be looking at stuff. Okay, and then I start playing around, seeing how much I can get away with. And let's see how much we can get away with, truly. Okay, we cannot get away with this much. Okay, but we can get away with this. So we get a resume that is under a page that, well, it's a page and it fits everything that we need. Okay, let's go here. And I need to make some comments about this. I need to also fix something in the mentor world experience. Needs to come up. Right, and we're going to save. So for your professional experiences, if you're currently working in that job, okay, if you currently work there, you're going to use present tense verbs. Under no circumstance should the bullet point start with words like I did, I used to, well, no. Your bullet points should always start with a verb. If you're currently in that position, if you're working there, you're currently interning there, you're currently a full-time employee there, you're going to use present tense verbs. So instead of built, we probably would have said something else, something present tense, or instead of engineered, it would have been engineering. Instead of built, it would have been building. Instead of integrated, it would be integrating. And most of the times, we don't, even though we're working there, if we're not actively working on that project, we might still not use present tense verbs because we're probably done building that project that we're talking about, right? So if it's project based, if your listing of experience is project based, and you're done with the project, then you're going to be using past tense. But if it's something that you continuously do, something that you're still continuously doing, then you're going to use present tense verbs. If it's a position that you're no longer in, or a work that you're no longer doing, a project that you've already closed off, even if you're still in that position, you're going to use past tense verbs. Always start with a verb. Always start. No, I did. No, I do. No, well. No, because. No, none of that. Always start. And remember the three. Okay, your X, Y, Z. Used X. Okay, you did X using Y for a Y because of Z. Okay, so we created this, or I did this using these technologies, or using these techniques, or using these softwares to do this, or to solve this problem. Be very problem centered. These are the problems that we're trying to solve. These are problems that we solved. Okay, so and if you don't have the metrics, it's okay. I know that we're metric driven these days and we want to see the metrics. Honestly, some of us, a lot of interns are not going to have the metrics. And so if you don't have it, there's no need to lie and say you have it, because then you got to remember the metrics that you put at the interview. Why lie? Just leave it off, right? Just make sure that you have those three things. The metric is just an extra. If you have it, good. If you don't have it, leave it alone. Okay. But this is the resume that we've been able to create for Jane. All right. So you can see that we started off with our education section, and then a personal experience. Relevant coursework is good to have. But remember, it has to be relevant. You can't just be putting anything just to put it, right? If you have personal experiences and such, it's good to have them here. I mean, your projects. Okay. So personal works, person project that you work on, it's good to have them here. This is one thing that I wanted to show you guys. So if we had projects on here, or for some reason our resume was running over a page and we wanted to take some of the experiences off, some of the experiences might not be relevant for all the jobs that we're applying for. You know, everything on your resume should be pointing the recruiter to the fact that you are a good fit. So you might have some things here, like if you have space, you might, have some things on there that might not necessarily polish you to be the best candidate for it, but it just adds. You have space where you're going to add it. It can add a little, razzle dazzle to your resume. But if you are running over a page, easily you can just turn things off. So you can see when I click this toggle, this eye thing, it turns off this Mentor World Incorporated experience of Jane's resume. And that is so easy. Next time, all we really have to do is just turn it on, right? Whenever we need it, whenever we find an experience where this would be a good fit for it, and we can just keep turning things on and off. And whenever we need to organize things again, we could just come here and move things around. Let's say that we found a recruiter who said your skill set have to be the first thing that they see. It's so easy to just drag and drop, and you don't have to copy a whole bunch of stuff, and now your formatting is messed up and all kinds of stuff. Okay? So again, with the bullet points, I recommend you do at least two. At least two. So for those of you who go to your internship and you don't actually get any work done, you're now going to struggle to get 3 bullet points or 2 bullet points. So get work done so you can get 3 or 2 bullet points. All right. If you're going to be putting acronyms that no acronyms, just describe them. This CRUD, I probably would have described it, or I probably would have said what it was, defined it, and then put CRUD in parentheses, especially if I was going to use it again and again, so that the recruiter that is reading it know what I mean by CRUD. So I would, or crude, whatever you call it, okay? So I would recommend that you put all of your acronyms, because I don't go to your day job with you. I don't do the cool things that you do with you. I wish I did, but I don't. And so I want to know what they are. Don't make me go search online. Your recruiter probably won't go search online. So make it easy for them to find these words. We already talked about action words. Remember, this is a page management game. This is a space game. You want to get that resume to a page. And so how you choose and pick what belongs on the resume depends on the job, the description of the job, and the experiences and the things that you have that are going to make you look like the perfect candidate for the job. So if we have a whole bunch of these here, but some of them are not really painting me to be the best candidate, I'm going to take some of the relevant coursework off, right? If I have a space problem, I'm probably going to take Dream Hive Scholarship off, because it's probably not going to do much for me, right? But let's say I'm applying for a technical role, I probably will leave the Tech Innovation Hub on, because it shows my leadership skill in a technical setting. So you want to be really specific about the roles that you're choosing and all of those things. Some of you have awards and certificates. Some of you have skill sets that you've acquired through certification programs and such. If you have them and they're relevant to the industry that you're in and you have the space, put them. You might prioritize some of these organizations that you're part of. You might prioritize those certificates and awards and those things over it, because it might paint you to be a better fit for the role that you're looking for, versus just putting something like this. Even though it shows leadership, you might decide that the award and the certificate are better, right? So it's a pick and choose game. There are things that belong on here: your education, your professional experience, and your skills. Remember, it's your apartment. You need some things. They're necessities. You need those 3 things: your education, your professional experience, and your skills. But everything else is a fair game. Everything else is about what makes me look like the best candidate, or what paints a picture that I am the best candidate. Again, if you are in university by your 2nd year and you don't have any experiences, start doing projects. Even if you have experiences, it's always good to do projects. Stay away from the cloning projects. Stay away from projects that people have already done. Try to think outside the box. One of the ways that I recommend that you find projects to do is by just looking at your community. Look at the problems in your community and in your space and in your environment, and try to solve some of those through personal projects. You never know. You might even end up with a startup, So think outside the box. Just stay super sharp. Think outside the box. Be the sharpest box in the tool, yada, yada, all of them, So yes, unnecessary information to leave off of your stuff. It's references. You won't see references on any of the resumes that we work on or talk about, because it's not relevant. Okay? I know it's references. If they need references from you, they're going to tell you. Last thing that I want to show you how to do is downloading your resume. Whenever you download your resume, as a proper way to do it, save your resume as your first name _ last name _ job or role title, and maybe the word resume. So your first name, last name. If you have 20 names, still pick first and last name only, okay? All the names don't have to go. All the family members don't have to go. Dad and mom, first and last name can come, okay? So your first name underscore, last name underscore, a role that you're looking for. And because if a recruiter loses your resume and they see your name but they can't find your resume, it's easy for them to type your name and find it. You don't have to use the underscore. You can use a dash or you can just use space. But I like the underscore, probably a programming thing. I don't know. But just do it that way, okay? And lastly, if you wanted to share your resume with me or somebody for them to edit it, let's say somebody wanted to give you feedback, it's so easy to just enable. You see how easy it is? Flowcv reached out to me. I deserve a partnership at this point. Okay, and then copy your link and then send it to the person. And when they give you feedback in comments, you will be able to see it here. So thank you so much for sticking with me all through this long video, all my mess ups and all my funny stuff and not funny stuff. I'm grateful. Share this video with your friends, especially with recruiting season, hiring season right around the corner, and especially as you guys are looking for NSS roles and even internships and other stuff. Thank you so much. Until next time, stay blessed.